The drum was stolen by blood and buried in lies. One prince tried to silence truth. One hunter gave his voice, his treasure, and almost his life. But the truth returned with him.
The villagers fell to their knees. Some wept, some bowed to Kaye. But Kaye raised his hand and said,
I did not return the drum so that you would worship me. I returned it so Orita would never be ruled by fear again.
The elders gathered that evening in the great hall. The king, ashamed and broken by his son's betrayal, stepped down. He tied his royal beads and handed them to Yeye Morayo.
Let Orita choose his next leader.
For the first time in Orita's history, a leader was not chosen by bloodline or family name, but by the people. Voices rose. Some shouted Morayo's name. Some shouted Kaye's. But Morayo stood and said,
I am the voice of the spirits, not the hands of the land. Let the one who faced the forest lead us through the future.
She turned to Kaye. The young hunter shook his head.
I am a hunter, not a king.
But the people shouted together, You are both. So Kaye was crowned the keeper of truth, not as a king in gold, but a leader in spirit. He did not sit on a throne. He sat under the tree of judgment with the drum beside him. Anytime a dispute came up, the drum was beaten and the truth was spoken. Thieves were caught. Land was returned to the poor, and slowly Orita healed. But not all was calm. Far away, deep in the shadows, the cloaked figure who helped Prince Folari was still alive, watching, waiting, plotting. Many seasons passed after Kaye became keeper of truth. Orita became known as the land of honesty. Visitors came from far places to settle disputes. Children grew up fearless because the drum protected them. But peace does not last forever. One night, under a blood moon, the sacred drum made a strange sound. Boom! 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 Yeye Morayo rushed to the tree of judgment where the drum stayed. She saw it shaking on its own. She touched it. Her eyes rolled back. She fell. Villagers ran to help her. She woke up screaming.
He has returned, the one in the shadows, the one even the spirits fear.
Kaye arrived quickly.
What do you mean?
Morayo was breathing fast.
The cloaked one is Aboku,
made the winds
the forgotten god.
Aboku. Long ago, before the gods people now know, before Shango, before Ogun, there was Aboku, the god of secrets and silence. He was once the most powerful, but he grew jealous when people started worshipping truth and light. He tried to erase truth from the world, so the other gods locked him beneath the earth and sealed him away. But now, someone had broken the seal, and it was Prince Folari. When he was swallowed by the forest, his soul didn't vanish. Abokun took him, used him, and now they were both coming back. That night, lightning struck the tree of judgment. The drum cracked, people screamed. The black fog entered the village and everyone lost their voices, even Kaye. again. He tried to beat the drum to speak truth, but the drum was silent. A whisper filled the air.
Truth is dead. Silence will rule now. A book is coming.
Kaye didn't wait. He tied his red cloth once more, took his bow, and headed back towards the Temple of Three Paths, where the drum was first kept long ago. There the gods used to speak. He needed answers. He needed help. Inside the temple, he lit a torch and saw something strange. A wall covered in names. Old names. Yemoja, Shango, Eshu, Ogun, and in the corner, a cracked piece of stone with Aboku scratched in deep lines. As he stepped closer, the wall spoke.
Only the one who has walked in silence can open the gates to the gods.
Suddenly, a light beamed from Kaye's chest. The glow of truth from the red cloth lit up the room. A secret door opened. Behind it, 3 masks floating in the air. A voice whispered,
Choose one, but choose carefully.
Each mask held a power. The mask of ears, to hear every lie spoken, even in the wind. The mask of sight, to see things as they truly are, even in dreams. The mask of fire, to burn away darkness, but at a high cost. Kaye looked at the 3. He only had one chance. He reached out. Kaye stood before the 3 floating masks. His fingers hovered. He thought of what Yeye Morayo once told him.
The greatest weapon is not fire. It is seeing things for what they really are.
Without blinking, he picked the mask of sight. The other masks faded into smoke. As soon as he wore it, the world changed. He looked around and saw spirits hiding in the temple walls. He looked at his own chest and saw the mark of truth glowing like fire. But more than that, he saw something far away. Orita village. The people were standing still frozen. Their eyes wide, their mouth sealed, and above them floated a shadow with many arms and no face. Abokun. He had returned in full form, and beside him stood Prince Folari. His body now twisted and half spirit, half man. His eyes glowed red. Abokun raised his hand, and every mirror, every water pot, every shiny surface in Orita turned black. Let no one see the truth again, he roared. But in the temple, Kaye still could. The mask of sight showed him everything. He rushed back through the forest, dodging shadow spirits and whispering trees. When he reached the village, he found it is in total silence. Even the animals couldn't make a sound. He climbed the top of the temple bell tower and raised his hands. The red cloth on his wrist glowed again. He removed the mask of sight and placed it on the cracked drum. Suddenly, Bedu Aye lit up, shining like a small sun. And the drum spoke for the first time in weeks.
Even when truth is hidden, it still watches.
Abokun appeared in the sky above the square. His many arms reached out.
You cannot stop me. You are just a boy.
I may be just a boy, but you are afraid of being seen.
Kaye stepped forward. He was shaking, but his eyes were clear. He raised the mask again and pointed it at Abokun. The god screamed. Smoke poured from his body. The mask of sight was showing Abokun his own true form, not as a god, but as a forgotten spirit, broken and bitter. The villagers began to move again. Their mouths opened. They cried out. They screamed the name Kaye. Even the birds in the sky sang again. The spell was breaking. Folarin tried to attack, but Kaye turned the mask to him too. Folarin saw his old self in the reflection. He fell to the ground crying.
I just wanted to be king. I didn't know what I gave up.
Abokun began to fade, sucked into a whirlwind of ash and dust. Before he vanished, he whispered, "This is not the end." Then there was silence. Real silence. Peaceful silence. The dark fog lifted. The sky cleared. The drum stopped glowing, but this time it was resting, not broken. Kaye fell to his knees. The people gathered around him. They touched his shoulders, his feet, his hands. Yeye Morayo came forward and lifted his hand.
The boy who lost his voice gave us back our truth.
But Kaye looked up and said softly,
This isn't just my story. It is Orita's. We all fought.
The villagers shouted. The drum beat itself once. Boom. Orita was safe for now. From that day on, Orita never forgot. The people built a new shrine, not for a god, not for a king, but for truth itself. Kaye, the boy who once had nothing, became a legend, not because he was the strongest, but because he never stopped choosing what was right, even when he had no voice. And the sacred drum, Bedu Aye, was placed high on a wooden tower where it could see everything. It only beat when the people forgot themselves. And each time it did, the whole village will stop, gather and remember. You can hide lies in the dark, but truth walks in daylight. Even when it's hidden, silenced, or stolen, truth always finds a way to come back. Please like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more educative and inspiring stories and myths. Until next time, this is Folktales by Fayoke, where history comes alive.